Alright, hello and welcome everyone. It's your boy Logic and we're back with BattleMania. So it's going to be Season 6, Week 2 here. And we're going to be in the first semi-finals with ODM Dacta up against Mr. GGX, Mr. Doodle. So hope we're all doing very well today. Hope you're all having a fantastic day or evening. We're going to be kicking it off with Oakenhammer. And I believe Mr. Doodle is first to pick and ban. Yes, he is. Going to be pick 1, burn 2. Alright, welcome. I feel like you've seen this before on one of your videos. No, it's a very similar one. So, I've got another one that does actually have this. It has the same models on it, but it's a different picture, as it were. But yes, it is pretty similar, CJ, yeah. So welcome, TJ. Welcome, Cypher. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's ready for the finals here. We're going to be starting off with the semis. Best of 3 here, and I believe we have Alfredinho and... let's have a look. Getting Smalls in the other final. So, yeah, we'll be having Mr. RTK Getting Smalls, as well as Mr. ODM Alfredinho, ODM Dacta, and also Mr. Doodles there in the other semi-final. So, yeah, quite a nice wide final. Actually beating Mr. Hanadin's there in the semis. Quite interesting indeed. Okay, so we have a Empire pick. The bans are going to be pretty straightforward here, I think, for Empire. Banning Dowie and banning Vampire Count. So I think that's the straight ban you need to do. And, nope, it's going to be a ban. Greenskins ban Beastmen. Okay, I think Dowie is the yep, pretty instant. It's going to be Dowie. It's just going to be a straight pick on Dowie. Dowie is an extremely hard counter. That's extremely hard. I don't know what else to say about that, really. I see Mr. Captain Morgan is coming in line. What's up, sir? How are we? Obviously, you guys can't see that, but I can. But hope he's doing well. Alrighty, so yeah, this should be an interesting one. Let's have a look. Nice comment there. Alright. Yeah, so I think Dowie's a pretty hard counter. A couple of reasons. They have everything that the Empire have and better. They just do everything better. These guys have handgunners, thunderers, have armor, shields, and same range. They're basically the same range skin, just better. State troops just do nothing here. Great swords need to be utilised to trade up against Dowie infantry. 48 melee defense, 100 armor there for Longbeards is tough to chew through. So without great weapons, it's pretty tough. The anti-infantry and armor piercing is needed, but you don't get that anywhere else. Flagellants are going to do nothing. Blasting charges destroy them. State troops also lose to blasting charges. Yeah, it's a pretty tough matchup. I think mass crossbows, mass handgunners can work quite nicely. Also, if you go there with the ROR Sternsman, not Sternsman, sorry. If you go the ROR, the ROGAR Free Company Militia. I forgot what they're called. But if you bring those, good AP, Vanguard, and all the rest. So they can be pretty nice as well. But Logic, how come Void isn't playing? Not like him to miss a tourney. So a lot of the VM guys on Fridays are playing, they have like an interclan thing, I think, now. So they're doing like a big interclan tournament on Fridays at the moment. So they have been involved in a couple of events here. Yeah, for sure. But I've heard nothing otherwise, CJ. I've heard nothing otherwise. Alright, both are ready, let's hop in. My eye there. I'm not sure what's happening with this contact lens particularly. So I have contact lenses that I put in sort of every 2 weeks, and they last 2 weeks. This one particular contact lens is it's caused me a little bit of havoc in this left eye. I don't know why, but it's been happening quite a bit recently. A bit painful. I might just have to get another one. Void, hello. Welcome, Void. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. What are you saying? I have already won all of the major tournaments I could. I'm on vacation. Oh, very nice. ECL, my son, $500. Oh, nice, dude. Congratulations. Great win for you. Great win. All right. So, and yeah, let's go here with the Empire. So we can see here handguns in the front line. Looks like 3 units. Dotted in with some great swords as well. More great swords. Made that 3. Sigma Sons in with some more swordsmen. Here in the back we have Felix, Amber Wizard, and Carla France missing in with a Storm Rocket Battery. Felix today, he will be having his sword and helping hand, and also the Amber Wizard on horseback with the Amber Spear and Wilson's Wild Form, with Carla France on foot with the Reichling Runefang, as well as Stand Your Ground and Foe Seeker. The man, the myth, the legend. I get a nice good look on his cape there. Oh, Carla France is such a cool character, right? And when he's on foot, just extra Chad points. We see 2 Helmstorm rocket batteries there. One on the right with the Sunmaker, nonetheless. And then we're also going to be with the Helmstorm rocket battery on the left. And in from Mr. ODM Dactor, mines and blasting charges dotted on the front line. 5 of those bad boys indeed. Rangers as well here in the front. Mixing in with some Longbeard, great weapons, Thunderers as well. And we're also going to have the Goblobber in with some Slayers from behind. Dwarf Warrior, great weapons, Goblobber, more Slayers. Goblobber is quite a nice unit here. Really comes with Discourage when hits. A -16 leadership can be pretty powerful. More Longbeard, great weapons down on the flank. Still pretty strong melee defense at 38, but still also going to pack a punch with 34 armor piercing weapon strength. More rangers on the flank. Looks like we are going to have these 4 rangers there. So yep, pretty standard. I think for me it's just really wide with the miners and blasting charges, really wide with the Dwarf Warriors. And then for me, I go Thunderers and Quarrelers or Rangers. They're just dotted around the front. And so we are going to have Belagar, Iron Hammer. So the man, the myth, the legend here in the front. The man of Carrick 8 Peaks. Going to be blessing us today with a visit. What's up, good sir? Expert charge defense, magic resistance, missile resistance, and of course that silver shield. 120 armor, great stats indeed. This man is certainly going to thump. Shield of Defiance here will be inbound, coming in with the Hammer of Angrund, which is always quite a cool weapon. Now the Russian Championships is underway. I will play and go on vacation until Warhammer 3. Oh, well, very nice, dude. Well, congratulations for all your wins. Congratulations for all the money. And yeah, enjoy your break, my friend. Of course, Warhammer 3 will be coming back soon. And, you know, you've been playing very well here in the current community. So, yeah, by all means, you take a break, my friend. Alright, in the front, we are going to be having the Amber Wizard moving through to the side. Trying to see if we get some of those blasting down the line there with the Amber Spear. Shots into the front here from the Sunmaker. Extra ammunition fired per go. Because he just mass shooting here into the front. Some nice dodging there from Mr. Dactor. Big shots at the front. We can see that actually the Rangers now are going to be moving forward as well. Both are going to be going on, trying to see what sort of damage they can get. Of course, actually hitting the blasting charges is not too bad, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Blasting charges will destroy the state infantry. Swordsmen will get deleted by that. We can certainly deal with Longbeards, because if they've got 38 melee defense there, I actually do, in general, prefer just the normal Longbeards, because they do hold better, and then your Thunderers actually just deal with the great swords. When shots coming over the top, the Goblobber is going to be firing into the Sunmaker. Sunmaker now, you can see that discouraged ability coming in, so it's going to be shots from artillery, shots from the discourage ability, and damage sustained over time. So you can see that's going to be -26 there, just from being shot by 1 artillery piece. Now, we are going to have some Dwarf Warrior great weapons hanging behind. They're quite expensive. Amber Spear down the side. Looks like those Thunderers are coming to have a little chat with the Wizard here on the side. We're going to be inbound. Is a volley going to go off? If a volley goes off here, this is going to be painful. It looks like that's going to be the case. Yep, he took a full volley to the face there, and that's quite a bit of damage indeed. We can see that we are moving forward here with some of the state troops. Sigma Sons going forward first is a bit bold. Probably would have preferred to see the Great Swords going forward. You see Blasting Charges just going to delete the 700 gold cost men here at the front for Sigmar. The Sigma Rights just getting Blasting Charged here in the front, getting absolutely decimated. Shot as well here from the Rangers. Blasting Charges getting ready here on the side. Yeah, this is going to absolutely decimate the infantry. Good shots in the front, shields high, and now they're going to be starting to fight here up against the miners. Blasting charges still going to come in. We should be able to see from behind here. Yeah, blasting charges are going to be ready, and they're going to fly home. Shots in from the Rangers as well, and unfortunately they're going to be really tightly packed there on the right hand side. Blasting charges, yeah, it's just painful to watch, but it's a shame the swordsmen there, the men of Sigma, are going to fall. Thunder is moving forward, trying to get a couple of shots here onto the great swords. As long as you keep the Slayers nice and close, Slayers should be able to actually wrap around the right and shut down the Helmstorm rocket battery. Actually having them at the front is not really all that advantageous. You've got a small hole here, just get some nice abuse into that pocket. Where is Carl France? Carl France is going to be at the front here with Felix. They're actually going to be punching into the line of Thunderers. We're actually going to be shooting into Carl. Carl is going to get pretty injured here. He's gone down by at least over 1,000 health. He's already pretty squishy when he's going to be on his mount. When he's on foot, he's extremely squishy. He does have some okay stats, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be stand your ground, going down plus 24. But of course, minus 24 from that. He only has 45 melee defense. He punches really hard there on his mount, but without... I just don't know what he's going to pull in this matchup. But yeah, shots still going in front of us, so we're trying to aim after the Thunderers. Thunderers now going to be moving. I think they're still going to try and shoot the Amber Wizard, but it looks like now we could be going after the Helmstorm rocket battery. I think if you are going to bring the Amber Wizard, I think actually bringing the Manticore Summon is always better. Because in this matchup, you can use them to shut down Thunderers, you can use them to shut down artillery pieces, you can use them to shut down, at least push off Engineers or Bellagar Iron Hammer. There's just lots you can do with it, right? Big shots in the front. Artillery is going to be smashing into the great swords, and that's a lovely target, and that's also going to give Discourage there as well. So, of course, another negative 26 leadership. Handgunners, they're going to get composed here by the miners of blasting charges, but of course here they are going to get shot by handgunners on the flank. So we have some Dwarf Warriors moving in to meet with a nice good sandwich here. A nice doughy sandwich from the miners there on the left-hand side as well. Swordsmen coming in, so we are still going to be shooting to the front line. Not known for the accuracy is going to be the Helmstorm rockets. They're going to be trying to find the front line here, trying to see if they can damage as much of the miners as possible. But at this point, there's no blasting charges. The Helmstorm rocket battery is going to break. I just don't think there's too much. I don't like the Helmstorm rocket battery play. I've never been a fan of it in this matchup. I've just never really seen it do so well. But at the same time, I think if you're going to do it, you need to go all out or don't bother at all. I think is kind of the idea. Here we can see miners and blasting charges are going to be wavering here just a little bit. They are going to get some added leadership bonuses there from the Dwarf Warriors coming nice and close. We are going to be having miners now coming on top of the handgunners. Both of the handgunners are having quite a bit of pressure here in the back. Swordsmen will struggle even then up against miners and blasting charges. Good armor. They do struggle with AP, but we do have some AP coming back from the miners. Stats are pretty poor though. 18 on 22 can struggle here. 32-32 for the swordsmen. But yes, it can be pretty difficult indeed. Looks like we do actually have some of the crew coming back from the Sunmaker. We're going to be having 7 models. That should be enough to fire all 3 cannons, but we'll have to see in the future. We do actually have some Thunderers nice and close by. We are going to be breaking the great swords here using the long, big, great weapons. For the majority, I think this looks like a dubski here for the men of the Dowie. So we are now going to have Bellagar fighting up against the Amber Wizard, and Mr. Doodles is going to pull out. Hey, Shiduku, how you doing, buddy? Welcome, welcome. Mr. Dog, hello, welcome, welcome. Dowie are SSS tier, but people would have a big problem if I said that. Looks like 212 there for Bellagar Iron Hammer, 214, 388, 61, 309, and 290 for the blasting charges. Now these guys, of course, are very difficult to deal with. I think that actually one way to deal with them is actually just pretty classic handgunners. I've seen people go pretty wide with handgunners. I think the Intisti build is 5 handgunners, 2 Empire Knights, a couple of great swords, and some crossbows. I think that's the general way that he kind of deals with that. And I think then I actually think in this matchup, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it, but I think you could even go Balthazar Gel actually might not be terrible. You won't be able to beat up the Lord. Of course, you'll have to use great swords, etc. But you know he's going to be a caster in this guy that does magic damage, and bring in Syrian Doom, and I think Syrian Doom does really well against the Dowie. So I don't know, maybe a bit of thought for a bit of food for thought there. But 280, 67 there for the Dwarf Warriors. Great weapons at 36, Longbeards at 140 and 300, 920 and 230 there for the Slayers. with 330 and 560 for the Rangers and 190. Thunderers at 530, 511 and 850 with 100 kills, 2,000 damage value for the Goblobber. So yeah, well, very well played there, very well played. Goblobber is actually a really strong tool, and of course here it is going to be the Pantelenard 20 stack, as we all want to truly know. We're going to call it now. We're now going to call it the Fanta Lemonade stack. Didn't expect this to fail that hard. I don't think impossible. Mr. Doodles, of course, from GGX. GGX, a brand new clan here, I believe, from the German side of the community. If I'm correct there. If I'm incorrect, please do feel free to correct me. But yeah, going to be Mr. Doodles, a brand new player, lovely guy. Played him in a couple of tournaments. Actually, DBD played up against GGX. We came second in our group, just missing out on a final spot there in the clan tournament up against RTK. Wood Elf band, TK Green Skins. Yep, pretty good bands, pretty good bands. Map is Pillar of Bone, yes it is. Am I the only Empire Mastermind? I don't want to flex, but I use Gelt against you. Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, I think you maybe that's where I got the idea from. But I was using Gelt in my single player campaign on Legendary, and I realized that actually he's pretty damn good. Like if you just bring like just Searing Doom, I think he can actually like be really cheap, really effective, and he's pretty fast. If there's artillery, you can certainly bring it down because he's got he's got 121 speed. He can certainly do pretty well there in the backside for sure. And I think he's a good lord. He comes in as a lord and a cheap caster, so you can certainly have both there. Mental Magic can do really well against the Dow. Of course, you come in with Plague of Rust. You come in with Searing Doom. Final Transmutation can also do really well. So you've got some great spells there at your disposal that you can really use against the Dowie. Also, to do Final Transmutation could be a really good anti-blob tactic. I mean, blobbing is also not great anyway, because of course you do have the Sunmaker and all these artillery pieces that can be very, very good. But I think for the majority there, for the Empire, it's pretty tough. I think you need to go handguns, and crossbows actually have a surprising amount of AP. 6 AP per model is actually not bad, considering they're not predominantly AP, so they can do some nice work, especially up against unshielded units. So if you shoot the crossbowmen into the miners in the front line, they can do pretty well. They can do pretty well, and I think that you just use the handgunners there to then do a bit of slap and dap there in the background up against some of the Longbeards and some other Dwarf Warriors, and you'll do pretty well. And then once you've dealt with the front line, you then just use your crossbowmen to then start shooting Slayers, if any are brought. I don't particularly bring Slayers in that matchup. I don't think they're necessary. If they go cavalry, most of the cavalry from the Empire side of things is pretty slow. And yeah, it's all heavily armoured, but you've got great weapons. You've got great weapons at your disposal, which is where you can bring 1 or 2 Longbeards, or what I do is I bring Dwarf Warrior great weapons. Because, I prefer having the 48-minute defense from the Longbeards. Yep, Searing Doom could be great against artillery. That's a good shout there, Cypher. Yeah, it can be really, really nice, for sure. So we got Bretonia here up against the Wood Elves. It's a really good counter pick here. I like Bretonia. I know a lot of people thought that in my tier list that Bretonia should have been B, and they certainly could have been. We had that discussion. I think somewhere between A and B was about right for them. I just thought they were a bit better than some of the factions in B, which is why I put them in A. But I think anything in my tier list probably could have gone up or down 1 slot. There were some thoughts about 1 or 2 factions. I think that's always going to be the case, because I think we all have our own individualistic opinions, which is good, which is what's so great about this community, which is always what is nice to see here. People always having different ideas, bringing different builds, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see. So we are going to be on the Bone Zone here. We are going to be having Wood Elves, which can be an interesting one. I think the kite game is certainly going to be on board here. I think what we're more than likely going to see is Weight Watchers. And the reason I think Weight Watchers is because that still offers kite, but AP. And that's what's important. Kite, but AP is important. Or it's going to be a full cav build with Stag Knights. But we'll come to that in a minute. So for the Bretonians, super wide here, we are going to see Grail Knights on the side with the Perfect Vigor ITP and that 20% physical resistance thanks to the Blessing of the Lady. Else on the side, we are going to be having the Knights of the Lion-Hearted. I really like these models. Super fun. They're of course going to be having Fear, as well as Encourage, Anti-Large, and those magical lances. Very nice. Question Knights in the back for the AP. Lots of AP indeed. Anti-infantry, immune to psychology. Always very strong. Knights of the Realm as well. Are pretty much just some of the best cav in the game for me, I think. You know, Knights of the Realm, they're just, you know, you've got a problem over here. It doesn't matter what it is, that problem is going to be dealt with. It could be large, it can be small. Doesn't matter. Knights of the Realm come with a cool package that can deal with most things. Peasant Pox arrows here in the middle. Fire arrows as well to really tip out. Fire arrows coming with a little bit of extra damage output. Spearmen here at the front line with men-at-arms as well. We're going to see in the front here, it looks like 4 units of the peasant mobs. And in the back, it looks like it's going to be Fey double paladin. Probably the most common pick out of any faction is going to be Fey double paladin. And of course, they're coming in one with the Guardian, one without. Fey as well here with the Chance of Potions. Favour of the Fey, the Regrowth, Earthblood, Mist of the Lady, Life Bloom, and of course, Blessing of the Lady. So, in the front line here, we are going to be mixing Dryads alongside here, and it's almost like I know Dacta. He's gone triple Weight Watcher, I thought, just because of the AP. You can go just regular Horse Kite, but of course, they do struggle there. Just Poison, only about 6 armor piercing per model, I think, so it's not huge. Eternal Guard in the back here for the anti-large and armor piercing, always very strong indeed. Azrai Spears, very strong. Azrai here with the Woven Mist, giving the missile resistance and reducing melee defense if needed. That can always be quite a nice ability there. 20% physical resistance, anti-large armor piercing, alongside Drycha. So Drycha, a very common lord choice here for the Wood Elves, with Rouse of Wrath, Pendulum, and Mystify Miasma. Let's have a look. So we got some Glade Rider Spears here in the back, 94 speed, and of course speed here in the current patch is going to be a little bit more beneficial than Charge bonus. So having that extra speed can always be pretty nice. That little sprinkle there. By the way, Logic, what do you think of my replay that I sent you? Unfortunately, buddy, I've been extremely busy. I've been extremely busy. I haven't managed to check it out, so I do apologise. I'll be going through some of the replays soon, and I'll be casting. I've got one set for tomorrow. I've had one that I've set for a couple of days. I've got a lovely Oxyotl video to come out. It's one of my favourite ones I've seen recently, along with the one I did yesterday. That was really fun there from Mr. Cool Umbrella. He did a really nice Vanguard cast there with the Beastmen. Okay, so Mr. Doodles will be back. But yeah, it's a lovely Oxyotl game, but I will get down to it, CJ. I'll have a little check out, and we'll come back and try and see if I can cast it. A lot of the ODM guys like to bait this matchup, though. Yeah, I think so. I think for the majority, most people would call it Bretonian favoured. I think mostly because of old style gameplay. I think actually triple Weight Watchers, which is why I called it, I think is a good kiting AP method to deal with all of those nice heavily armoured Knights. I think actually to counteract that, if you just go super wide as the Bretonians, you know, you just bring Battle Pilgrims, you just bring lots of Spearmen at Arms, Men at Arms, you go double Paladin, Fey, you just go super wide with really cheap cav, you know, maybe just a couple of Knights of the Realm. It could be really difficult because then of course Weight Watchers really don't have too many targets to shoot into. Of course, Questing Knights is where, and Grail Knights is where all the damage is going to be done. This is a beautiful build, though. This is the nice build. This can certainly do very well. I'm not too sure that actually... although, I don't know how I feel about Questing Knights in this matchup. Questing Knights play a lot for AP. And they're anti-infantry. Whilst they'll do well against cavalry. They do extremely well against cavalry Questing Knights. I just don't know if that AP is particularly worth it up against the Wood Elves. I really like the Knights of the Lion-Hearted because they come with a magic damage, which is really good when you're talking about Lost Silver and Knights. Of course, if they are picked, having those is really good in the back pocket. I do actually like Grail Knights are really decent. The reason being is Perfect Vigor is actually way stronger than I think people give it due just for. Knights of the Realm are brilliant. I think they're the perfect pick in this matchup. Not too cost expensive, where if they just get shot, they're going to die and you're going to lose. But at the same time, they're still going to do well up against all the other cavalry. They'll beat apart Glade Riders. They'll do pretty well up against Wild Riders. They won't win against Wild Riders, but they'll do well. They'll do well. But yeah, for sure. I like Knights of the Lion-Hearted. I think they're a great pick. For sure. For sure. Question Knights for the AP. I'm sure there could be an argument to not take it. I'm sure there could be an argument to take it. But it's one of the like questions. It's one of the like question. So we are going to go forward. Weight Watchers now getting into range. 190 meters indeed. Volleys at the front here. They are going to be... Oh my god. So much damage value here in the front. And look at that. Knights of the Lion-Hearted already losing 2 models. Lots of health. I think if you continue to charge there, I think you don't do too bad. You can't kind of back out like this, unfortunately. Because look at the value you're now going to take in from behind. I mean, that is a lot of damage on the Knights. That's going down to 36 models, 1,800 health. They needed an Earthblood, and they needed it yesterday. That's a lot of damage. Hello, the Mihawk. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. Hope you're well. Would the Mean Tank be better than Helmstorm Sunmaker in the matchup? We'll discuss that in a minute, but potentially. So if I have 5 arrows coming forward here with a bit of pox, trying to shoot on top of the Weight Watchers. Only 15 armor from them, so of course they're very glass cannon indeed. Very glass cannon. Shots coming up against the Peasant Pox arrows. We are going to fire forward. It looks like here we are going to pretty much delete. And that might even shatter the Pox arrows there. Negative 44. Looks like they are going to stabilize down to negative 24. Quick heal here from the... It looks like we did actually get healed for the Knights of the Lion-Hearted. We need to apply a lot more pressure on these Weight Watchers because they are going to rip apart this build before we even get there. I think you almost need to just charge your cavalry in and accept the loss. You need to just charge it in, allow the Dryad to counter-charge you, and deal as much damage up against these Weight Watchers because they haven't been touched yet, and they've completely thumped this front line. You've lost your Pox arrows here, unfortunately. They're not going to come back without an Earthblood. Big shots coming in the front as well. They're now going to be shooting into the fire arrows, and we've now only got 2 arrows left to kind of counter-kite. It's going to be another Earthblood on the side there. That's 336. I probably would have overcast that if I'm truthfully honest. And just getting them back into the front line as quickly as possible. You're now going to be going down here as well. Peasant Pox arrows now going to be down to half. You're going to lose all of your arrows here if we continue in this manner. But this is really hard, and I totally feel for Mr. Doodles. You know, playing a couple of games like this myself, there are times where... obviously for me it's very easy to cast and see what's going on compared to actually playing the game. So obviously all the recommendations that I make are just from my observations. When you're playing, of course, there's way more going through your head than just observation. Here in the front, we are going to be going into that formation now. Yeah, the Lance formation. I forgot the actual name of it, but we are going to be going into the Lance formation. Don't normally see that in the multiplayer scene. Counter charge here for Glaive Rider Spears, as well as the anti-large and armor-piercing Eternal Guards. Going to get a good fat dunk there on top of the Knights of the Lion-Hearted. So we are going to get an overcasted Earthblood in. Chance of Potions is going to come on top of the Dryads. That should do some lovely work there, hopefully. Might get a nice good close-up of this. Looks like for the majority that's actually going to hit a lot of the Peasant Mobs. We don't really care too much about that. The efficiency trade should be better there for the Bretonnians. Charging in the back, so that looks quite nice. We are going to move in with the Paladins and the Remainders. We're just going to keep charging into the backside of the Weight Watchers. They have nowhere to go. So if you just keep pressuring, they will get hurt. And they'll get hurt pretty quickly. Ignore this, come around the back and start shutting down these Weight Watchers as quickly as possible. And then we're here, so the Wildwood going down there, getting a nice good slow and attack there on the Spearman in the pocket. Making the wood can actually be quite nice to catch all sorts of cavalry and catch infantry on the floor, because 42 speed there for Weight Watchers is pretty nice. He's just going to kite to the right hand side here and just use the spears to blockade, and we can just keep shooting and fire whilst moving. A little bit of pressure here on the right hand side. We do actually have Knights of the Realm coming back in. Looks like we have some Knights there as well, and some Knights of the Lion-Hearted. The Fae's going to be in the middle here. It looks like we are going to go for the snipe on top of Drycha. I don't think she's the win condition. We really need to shut down these Weight Watchers. We do have some questing Knights in. We do actually have some Knights that have been caught by Eternal Guards. So we are going to heal in the back. We're just going to continue to get shots here, unfortunately, by the Weight Watchers. So over here, Glade Rider's pinning up against some more of the Knights in the back. I heard a pendulum here in the front. I couldn't quite see where that pendulum went down, unfortunately. Looks like here it went straight up against the Peasant fire arrows. Dryads in the back, they're going to be fighting here up against men-at-arms. Spears as well, going up against Dryads. Anti-large will not benefit up against the Dryad infantry. And it's like here we just have some extra Eternal Guard on the sides. Peasant mobs coming back through. They go through the trees. They might be able to see if they can get in and do maybe a little bit of work. But Drycha is holding pretty well here in the middle. Only 40 melee defense there for her. As long as we keep fighting here with the Fae, we are going to get that -5 melee attack, as well as also get that damage over time. Eternal Guards will do really well here up against the Paladins. Melee defense is pretty low. Mr. Doodles is going to pull out, but GG's well played to him. He tried very, very hard, and I think this is a particularly tough matchup. I think Weight Watchers are really strong in this matchup, and It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think perhaps going cheaper and wider with cavalry might have been better. I think the most expensive you probably want to bring is Knights of the Lion-Hearted. Obviously coming in with fear, and that magic damage can be good up against Lost Silver and Knights. But I think Questing Knights and Grail Knights, they're great. They're really great. I just don't think that they're that necessary in this matchup. Because at this current moment, the cavalry didn't win because they got kited by Way Watchers. The front line wasn't going to win against Dryads and Eternal Guards. So I think if you've gone a little bit cheaper with the cavalry and brought a little bit better infantry, maybe if you dropped some of the men-at-arms and some of the spears, and perhaps you went with maybe some of the, I have to remember what they're called, Battle Pilgrims, I think you could have done a little bit better here. And if you bring in the Las Maisons, they have fire damage here with magic damage to fire up against Dryads. They have a really nice makeup, and the reason being is if with that magic damage they negate the physical resistance of 20% that comes in from Dryads, and then they also have the fire damage that does extra hit there against their weakness. So not only do they negate the 20%, they also gain 25% damage. So the Las Maisons ROR Battle Pilgrims can do really nice up against Dryads, and they can really chew through and do some nice work up against Drycha as well. So for those that would like a little bit of a hint and a tip, that might be something that you could bring in this matchup. So 121 kills, and so we've got 807 for Drycha. We've got 32, 1035, and 62 there for the Eternal Dryads. So for the Eternal Dryads, for the Eternal Guard. For the Dryads, we got 72, 230, 490, 51, and 130. 350 there for the Spears, 230 as well, with 250 there for the War Dancers Azrai Spears. I assume they were there just in case we did have tools, just like the Grail Knights. We've got 1,375, 1.4 and 1.1k for the Way Watchers, with 413 and 474 there for the Glade Rider Spears. For the ladies, you got 370, we've got 290 and 700 there for the Paladins. We've got 13, 15, 23 and 20 for the Peasant Mobs. 24, 90 and 96 there for the Spearmen, and 85 for the Spearmen. 217, 31, 0 and 70. We also got 444, 483, 68, 566 and 250 there from the Grail Knights. I think the charge in the beginning would have been really nice. Even if you got counter hit there by the Dryads, you would have got a lovely charge into 2 units of the Way Watchers, and it would have prevented him from shooting to the front line, just kind of deleting the Peasant Bowmen. They are actually really needed in this matchup, I think. They're really needed. But GG's well played to Dacta. I actually didn't update the scoreboard, so I do apologise. We'll update that now so we can get in and get going. So well played to Mr. ODM Dacta, yet again doing fantastically here today. You take more missile damage in the formation, no? Oh, good, Mihawk. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Sorry, let's go back to where we were. So would the meme tank be better than the Hellstorm / Sunmaker in this matchup? Trying to think about all the possibilities. Thunderers do really well there. If they bring any sort of cannon, maybe it could do well. Maybe it could work. I would need to see it a little bit more, but maybe it could work. Yes. You take more missile damage in the formation. No. I don't actually know if you take more missile damage. I really don't know about that one. There's no stat changes apart from in the Lance formation you pierce into units more, so of course pulling out of units can be more difficult. The Bone Zone is one hell of a name. Looks like the name of the Tunku nightclub. 100%, man, 100%. Welcome to the Bone Zone, baby. Alright, so we should be having Alfredinho. Welcome, my friend, welcome. The man, the myth, the legend there from ODM. And we're going to be going up against Mr. RTK Killing Smalls. So let's see if we can get him in. I don't know if I'm blind. Aha, I am. We are on Oakenhammer. Alfredinho to start. I'm pretty sure you get 22% missile. Oh, okay, that's good to know. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. When you said that, I was like, I don't actually know. I don't really use it too much. I could have a look. Let's go with... okay, let's have a look. I can't see here, unfortunately. Sorry, Cypher. I'll check in a bit for you, mate. I'll check in a bit. So, Odium Dactyl will be the first man through to the final. And who's going to join him? What's your money on here? Let's have a little look. So, we are going to be here with... Oh, it's negative 48% missile parry. Ah, yeah, so negative missile parry, that'll actually be the shielded parry, yes. So true missile resistance and negative missile parry is similar but not the same. But yes, yes. Thank you for the update, Cypher. Yeah. So missile parry. So 24% missile parry is basically gaining a shield. So if you have no shield and you gain shield parry of plus 24, that will be bronze shield, 48 silver shield, and then it will be 72 for gold shield. Yes. Gonna leave the stream now after I voted for Alfred. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, yeah, who do you think is going to join in the final here with Mr. ODM Dactyl? Is it going to be RTK Killing Smalls or Mr. ODM Alfredinho? What do we think? What do we think? You let me know. You let me know. Mr. Caradoc from Mr. VM. How are we? How are we? How are we doing, friend? How are we? How are you today? How's your day been? Have you been playing much? I haven't seen you recently. How's things been going? You knocked me out. That's unforgivable. I agree. I agree, Cypher. It is unforgivable, and Alfredinho has stepped away to go think about his transgression. So, that is the best quote ever. Yes, please, friend. Yes, please. I've been sent a couple of messages here. Let me just double check. Sorry. Alright, so while we have a little bit of an intermission here, a bit of a plug-in, so welcome everybody, I hope you're all having a great time. If you are, please feel free to smash that like button, it really helps here on the channel. If you like what it does, it adds an interaction to the live stream, therefore when YouTube see this, they'll then promote my video even wider to the greater YouTube audience, so more people can hopefully join. So if you want to support me, that's a great way of supporting me, and also think about subscribing. A lot of you guys have been doing that recently, and that's really awesome of you, so thank you very much for doing that. Once I hit 750 subscribers, which I will hopefully get there, I think I'm about 12 away, I'll be doing a nice stream for myself, celebrating 100 followers on Twitch, and then 750 on YouTube. I'll be doing a nice stream for all of you. It should be really fun. I've got a great idea. It's going to be really great, and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll do a nice celebration together. And then obviously you'll be helping me towards that 1,000 goal that I have. We do have Warhammer 3 coming around the corner soon. If I get somewhere in between 800 to 1,000, I should become a partner with CA, hopefully, somewhere in that region for me. And then once obviously I hit 1,000 subscribers, I also get more access with YouTube. I become an affiliate, not an affiliate, sorry, I become a partner, I think. And then I can do a bunch of things there with YouTube and all the rest. So it looks like we have Lizardmen go ban Dark Elves and Skaven. Looks like Killing Smalls is going to go Wood Elves. Alfredino is ready. Okie dokie. Thank you very much, Nick. I really appreciate that, buddy. I would have forgotten about that, but you reminded me, and that's why you're a legend. Alright, let's get that going. So, scorecards. ODM Alfredino. RTK Killing Smalls. Well, I think we're ready. What else until this is okay? No VP pan, interesting. I actually don't think VP is a good counter to Lizardmen anymore. I generally don't, actually. Especially in banner rules. If I made that very, very clear, in banner rules, I don't think VP is the is the counter pick it used to be. In fruit rules, very different story. Very different story. Yes. It's 50-50. What else into Lisbon? I don't think it's quite 50-50, but maybe. Yeah, I think it slightly favors the Lisbon. Slightly, I think. I think because of Chameleon Skinks and Chameleon Stalkers, I think it slightly favors the Lisbon. But at the same time, let's not be pernickety about it. I think 50-50 is pretty fair. Yeah, I think Cypher's pretty right. Yeah. Chameleon Stalkers are the difference from banner rules to fruit rules. So with banner rules, Chameleon Stalkers don't count as 360 or shooting. So you can take 5 of those and then still take a bunch of Chameleon Skinks, Chameleon Javelins, and you can just overwhelm them with a 20 stack of just a bunch of Skinks just yeeting things in undead directions. Pretty much, whilst you can't do that in fruit rules. Is the main difference. And I've seen, you know, a full stack of Chameleon Skinks and Chameleon Stalkers do pretty well with Oxyotl in that matchup. Yeah. That's my experience. Of course, when I say these guys, you know, this is an average player point of view. I'm not going to be the best player in the game, but of course I do watch a lot of videos. I pretty much watch every single replay you guys send me. I watch all the replays from the short beards. I watch all of the replays and all of my casting here on the channel multiple times. And I do try and play myself in the community as much as I possibly can. So that's where my experience comes from. But when it comes to playing top tier levels like Alfredino, we do have best of 3s every now and then, and we do play some games. But obviously, you know, I'm not quite on that level, so yeah. So who is the only good counter against Lizardmen than TK? No, I don't even think TK is a good counter. I don't even think TK is a good counter. So I talked about it in my video a little bit. I think it's even TK against Lizardmen. I think it's truly even, but it's not great. It's not great. I think it used to be TK favored. I think it used to be like 55% TK. I think it's now 50-50. I think it's a true 50-50. Who I think is a really good counter to Lizardmen. I'm not sure, if I'm honest. So Skaven's not anymore because of Chameleon Stalkers. The issue that Lizardmen used to struggle with is anything that was really wide with mass gunpowder, they just couldn't deal with. And they just had so much chaff. But the thing with Chameleon Stalkers and Skinks and Javelins in the mixture now is they can just remove chaff like it's not a problem. And then you're going in, so let's say you've got Chameleon Javelins, you've got 5 units that just yeet Javelins forward, at least 2 Javelins, you've then got still a full infantry ready to go and push into the back with. So, Skaven can do well, but, you know, when talking to Mr. Human Boy from RTK, it's a much more difficult matchup. It's like, it is difficult. I think Beastmen is one of the bans for Lizardmen at the moment, I think. But if I still had to ban, I would still say Skaven is worthy of a ban, I think. I think it still is, yeah. Yeah, Benzo, you make a great point. Yeah, with the increase to some of the units coming in, also with the negation to poison, I actually also think from the Cav beta there was more benefits for Wood Elves more than any other faction. I actually really like Great Stag Knights. I think they are exceptional at this current moment in the game. I think they are very, very good. From what I've seen of them, the way I've seen them used, they perform extremely well. Yeah. Yeah, 20 skink stack is extremely good, Nick. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. It's very strong. It's amazing how the DLC and decent patches made Lizardmen units so decisive. Only took 4 DLCs for them to give one of them over-the-top units for Lizards. Yeah, I mean... yeah, there's lots of great points here as well, and there's more than just the units as well, right? It comes down to micromanagement and all these kind of things. So you can have all the right units, you can have all the right ideas, but it all comes down to execution at the end of the day. So, and I've seen nobody be more clinical than Alfredinho. I've never seen anybody in the game more clinical than him. The only one that could probably rival his clinical level, maybe Falcon. It's the only one that I've ever casted that was more clinical. Solar engines are fairly easy to shut down. Yeah, they can be for sure. Way Watchers can shut them down pretty comfortably. Yeah, pretty comfortably indeed. You can also use Starfire Shafts. They'll do great work for sure. Yep, just good pressure on them, and they will. So I think this is going to be a pretty lengthy match. I have a feeling. I have a feeling there's going to be a bit of kite-on-kite action. But when it comes to the top level of the game, yeah. Yeah, 100% Zypher, I could agree. Yeah, Void is up there too. Void also has a different level of clinicism that we don't often see. The builds he brings as well that I see Void bring in the current meta is he is not just very good in those matchups and how clinical he is, he also knows his build inside out. I've seen him use his builds multiple times, and he always has an objective with those builds, and I always see him nail it. And he's always very decisive when he goes into those games. You know, there's some very, very strong players in the community that play very well, play very often, and that's why we see them very much at the top. Chosen One as well is another great player here in the community. I'd say the 4 of those are very strong at this moment. So we move in here to the floor. We are going to be seeing Great Stag Knights here with the Frenzy, good AP and charge bonus. 70 charge bonus is really strong indeed. In the front here, we are going to have Glade Rider Spears, more Great Stag Knights, a bucket load of Dryads here in the front for a bit of tank. We are going to be having Starfire Shafts in the back, 2 Eternal Guards, and the Spellweaver of Life in the sky. Here with the Loex Blessing, Arcane Conduit, Dwellers Below, Earthblood, and Life Bloom. Okay, so from Mr. Alfredino, what do we have? Chameleon Javelins in the front there with Source Warriors. Looks like in the back we are going to have some Feral Cold Ones. Oh, the Umbral Tide bringing in with the Fire Doggos. 2 of the Source Warriors. Look at the Doggos! Look at them. Ah, some of my favourite units, man. I love the Doggos. More of the Javelins as well in the front line. We are going to have some Chameleon Stalkers for units with, of course, the man Oxyotl. Oxyotl is an absolute G. The Golden Blowpipe of Pitui, with also Master Predator and Cold Blooded. In the front here, we are going to have Feral Cold Ones. More Feral Cold Ones. And I think I played this matchup pretty similar myself. I go 4 Feral Cold Ones, 5 of the Chameleon Stalkers, 3 Chameleon Skinks, and 5 of the Javelins. That's roughly how I play it. I don't often bring Oxyotl. I actually normally bring Krokgar on a Horned one with Hand of the Gods, because he normally deletes the Sisters in the Sky. Umbral Tide can also be a gorgeous pick. It's going to be very strong. The last thing I normally bring is double Bastiladons, but the Umbral Tide could be filthy. It could be absolutely filthy. Anti-large, they could dumpster Great Stag Knights. This is going to be a very interesting game. I didn't pet them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Where are they? Where are they? Well, he keeps moving the... No! Stop moving my doggos. Good boy. Good boy. Little head scratch. There we go. There we go. There we go. Look at those tails, man. Look at the designs coming in, man. Like, you can't be mad at CA, man. Look at the definition on this. It's just so gorgeous. God, man, I want to adopt one. Right, let's move in. Let's move in. Let's do this. Hadri's is also doing great at the moment. Yeah, I haven't seen Hadri's on the channel in a while, actually. It'd be nice to see Hadri's come back in and play a bit. I've missed watching his Skaven gameplay. He's a great player. So, lovely rotation here from Alfredino, dropping on the left-hand side, pushing up with the right, to try and see if we can match up against the build here from the man, the myth, from RTK. We can see those Javelins ready to go. Javelins will do a nice good thump in the front line up against Dryads. No shields for them. Of course, that armor will help, but not too much here. We are going to rotate. You can see Chameleon Stalkers ready to go. They will blast pretty hard into the face of the Great Stag Knights. Good luck, have fun from both sides. Love to see that. This is going to be a conquest for sure. Both heavy micro players. Great rotations. We are now going to move in with the Umbral Tide. Umbral Tide will destroy Dryads here in the middle. We do actually have, I think it's 125. Yeah, 125 range there in the front. Now, they don't want to waste ammunition because they also need to delete Great Stag Knights. Damage here, early doors for the Great Stag Knights. Chameleon Stalkers here in the front. We are going to shoot, and a little bit of a hit there on the Great Stag Knights, not too much. Chameleon Stalkers getting a nice shot off. Okay, that's a nice work there. So Spellweaver of Life coming over the top as well. Moving around the side, the Chameleon Stalker is now going to be visible. Of course, they do have that Stalk as well. Oxyotl just going to be pushing to the front. Nice damage there, killing a couple of models there in the front. Really nice stuff there from Oxyotl. Overcomes the Spellweaver of Life. She does have 110 speed, so she should be able to get over. Cause Oxyotl some problems here in the front. Over on the side, we can see the Cav. We are going to shoot in here to the back side of the Great Stag Knights. Blasting charges will do those work. I'm going to call them blasting charges. I know they're not blasting charges, but I like to call them blasting charges. So we are going to move over the top. We are going to start getting into combat. So we are going to try and kite out a couple. Oh, nice hit there in the back. Good damage. Now we move in here with the Spellweaver of Life. She's going to try and damage a couple of units here in the Chameleon Stalkers. A bit of an overextend here on the right-hand side for sure. Blast. Oh my god, Speedweaver's getting destroyed here on the right. No, that's a big hit. Oh, and an overcast. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of damage. Okay, in the middle there, we can see Glade Rider Spears, Overcast Earthblood healing. It looks like the Great Stag Knights have been caught in the back. Source Warrior is going to be putting in and smashing with those maces in the back here. We have Great Stag Knights doing some work here in the pocket up against the Feral Cold Ones. Do have a Manticore Summon in the sky there, coming from the Skink Priest of Beasts. He's also going to come in with Amber Spear, which should be quite nice. We are going to have some of those, javelins over the top, smashing into the Gladeguard Starfire Shafts. Moving forward to the front, it's going to be the Saurus Warriors. They'll butter the bread here of those Dryads in the middle. Stalkers in as well, fighting up against some of the Starfire Shafts. Saurus Warriors, Chameleon Skinks, and Stalkers here in the front line up against the Knights. And they're going to be getting battered pretty hard here. Manticore in the sky is going to be chasing off the Spellweaver. Over here on the left, looks like we have broken up some of the doggos. No! My doggos have shattered! Oh no! So the doggos are off the battlefield. Balance of power here is going to be in the favour of Alfredino and the Lizardmen. Shots coming into the front here, into the face of the Dryads. Nice free damage there is always very helpful. Blasting charges ripping into the backside here of the Eternal Guard. We are going to rampage in the middle here with the Feral Cold Ones as we fight up against the Glakeguard Starfire Shafts. Saurus Warriors moving in. They are going to... Oh, God, they are ripping apart this middle pocket pretty hard here. In the back, looks like it is going to be a bit of a heal here going down for the Great Stag Knights. I think that was overcasted as well to really heal the middle pocket. Manticore is doing some lovely damage. You can see the Spellweaver of Life is extremely weak there. Extremely weak indeed. Chameleon Stalkers moving back in. Might be able to get a quick hit there. Nice charge into the middle of the Great Stag Knights. Couple of damages there on the model. If we kill any of them, of course, going to be very beneficial. We are going to have a Dwellers below here going on top of the Skink Priest. But not cashing too much for the rest. Actually can do a lot of damage here up against the Glakeguard Starfire Shafts, maybe? I don't know if it does actual self-damage. I don't actually know the answer to that. In the middle here, we have Eternal Guards moving in and up against the Chameleon Stalkers. Of course, they do have that 25% physical resistance. Ooh, lovely charge animation there with the Grey Stag Knights moving in up against the Skink Cohort Javelins. Balance of power pretty even here. Oh, rear charge from the big boys! Here we go. We are going to have the nice dinos in. We are going to be killing models here as well. They have great AP, the Feral Cold ones. Really, really cheap. But they're going to move in, do some nice damage up against the Great Stag Knights. Another Manticore in the sky, and that will certainly chase the Spellweaver, I'm sure. Or rear charge here up against some of the Stag Knights. Stag Knights at 14 there on the left. We are going to break with the other units, and 15 here on the top. We do move in here with Spellweaver of Life. Manticore is in the middle. Manticore is going to be fighting here up against the Great Stag Knights. Can we get him in up against the Spellweaver? Didn't see what happened to Oxyostle. He's going to be the back end. He's going to be kiting. Master Predator going down. Can we shoot here, though? It looks like we are actually going to be shooting up against the Cavalry. 11 models left. Spellweaver is going to be in the middle. Can we get in with the Manticore? Can the Manticore thump here up against the Spellweaver Life? It looks like he is going to turn. He is going to burn, and that's going to be some nice damage. Arcing Conduit going down for extra mana. Hope we try and see if we get an extra Earthblood here in the middle for killing Smalls. Shots moving in still up against the Great Stag Knights. Oxyotl will snipe models here often. We are going to move out. Looks like it is going to be a charge up against the Skink Priest of Beasts. Oxyotl is going to kite just a little bit. And there we go. Shot there. 360 no scope, and we are going to finish off. It looks like he is going to fight into combat here. Doesn't really have too much choice. He is going to get yeeted here by the Great Stag Knights. Damage will go down. Looks like here we do actually have the Skink Cohorts coming over to try and see if they can help up against Oxyotl. In the middle here, the Skink Priest of Beast is going to help fight. 9 models down. It is looking pretty dire. In the sky, pretty weak, is going to be the Spellweaver. She's going to be at 711 health. We should see some more healing here in the middle. In the middle, we are going to be shooting here into the Great Stag Knights. 8 models left. Oxyotl is 360ing as much as possible. I don't know if he's going to be able to kill any more units here, unfortunately. So we have some Skink Cohort Javelins. We could certainly chase off these Dryads and try and see if we can move in a rear charge up against the Eternals, or start helping our Raging Saurus Warriors there in the middle. We should be able to get away with Oxyotl, just like Pan's Impenetrable Pelt going down. Melee defense and also physical resistance, because he did get caught a little bit out of shape there. But of course the Great Stag Knights are now struggling. Great Stag Knights down to 7 models. A bit of an Earthblood here is necessary. Looks like we are going to get the remainder of the cavalry in, and I think now it will, yes, now it will come out. That's a great heal there. A charge down on the floor, trying to see if we can snipe out Oxyotl. We need the remainder of the forces to come in, and so we have the double of the Skink Cohort Javelins moving into aid. Wavering is going to be the Skink Priest of Beasts. Also wavering is going to be Oxyotl. We are going to charge in. Can we kill the Great Stag Knights and the crew? It looks like the Spellweaver Life is going to be struggling. She is going to break. She's going to be -1 leadership. She goes up to 2. She could get away here. She's going to be down to 338. If we can get Oxyotl out and start shooting, he can certainly kill her pretty comfortably. Looks like he's not going to be able to give it. It looks like he isn't going to be able to get a shot off. -7 leadership for her. She should come back. Are we going to get a shot? One shot could do the day. I don't think that went down. Looks like we didn't quite get a shot off here. Saurus Warriors here on the outside should come back. Looks like we have some Great Stag Knights as well, ready to come back to the battle. 2 Great Stag Knights in here with 2 Dryads fighting pretty strong. Oxyotl is caught in the middle here of the fight. We can see that Chameleon Stalkers are struggling. Saurus Warriors, Chameleon Stalkers coming back into the fight as well. Looks like we are going to break with these Skiing Priest of Beasts. If Oxyotl can get out of here, that would be really great. It looks like, unfortunately, here, the Spellweaver is not going to be coming back. -9 leadership, -7. Then it looks like that damage is sustained there on her. Flanks are secure, but -74 damage, -6 on exhaustion. That is pretty much going to throw her off the battlefield, and that could ruin the game here for the Wood Elves. Doing very strong there in the middle. If she goes off -16 leadership, that will cause quite a bit to shatter here. No way she goes off. Okay, there's going to be -16 leadership. A lot is going to break here. You can see in the middle, Dryads breaking now. A couple are going to follow suit. That is also going to remove the healing in the middle. Oxyotl's not a bad melee combatant. 50 melee attack with poison, plus 45 melee defense. He should hold okay. Weapon strength is not huge in at 400, but not terrible either. You can see a couple of broken units. -16 leadership will hit pretty hard. We are going to be shifting back to middle. We've actually shattered with some of the Dryads as well. If we can do enough damage and clean up crew, this could be game over here, unfortunately. If we can start shooting with Oxyotl, it's going to be pretty painful. Nice charge there with the Great Stag Knights. We're going to go hit here and remove a couple of models. That could be awesome. Great Stag Knights are wavering. 6 models left. They are going to break. Banners of Power is going to be in the Wood Elf favour, however. If Oxyotl can get away and start kiting, this would be really, really great. I think Master Predator has been turned off. It looks to be the case. So he is just going to be shooting and moving here. Right, those Great Stag Knights will leave the battlefield. Yeah, we are going to be chasing with the Dryads. Coming back is going to be the Great Stag Knights. Leadership, as they do charge back in. Flanks are... Oh, nice 360 there on the Great Stag Knights. Nice. That could finish them off. I don't know. I think Oxyotl could win this. Nice. Good work there. Looks like we are going to go down to 3 models here with the Great Stag Knights. And they are going to break with -20 leadership. We are going to be shooting up against the Dryads. And we should get some good work in here. Moving back in is going to be the Chameleon Stalkers. On the backside here, we actually see some Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. They could be dangerous. They could be very, very dangerous. Was there 2 on the battlefield is the question. We are having some shattered Dryads. Dryads broken. Some Great Stag Knights in at 5 models as well. -17 leadership. That is them gone. And that is the cost of losing your Lord. Saurus Warriors back into the mixture as well. So we are going to come back with the Dryads. Dryads then are going to immediately break yet again. But it looks like they're still going to be fighting whilst broken. Very interesting. They're now going to retreat. Shots here from Oxyotl could clean them out and make sure they move off. Use the Stalkers here to push onto here and get the Saurus Warriors in to push off the last unit. And I think that's GG's. Starfire Shafts will more than likely break when coming close to combat, but the remainder of the Lizardmen is also looking pretty dire. There's like 3 other Stag Knights will be returning. I don't know why the 5 didn't if these 3 are going to on less health. 3 leadership should be enough. We are going to shatter here, so if we can break here as well, that will be very, very good. If we now move Oxyotl back into Master Predator, this could be very, very decent indeed. Looks like we are going to be shooting on the Saurus Warriors here in the middle. They are broken, they're not shattered, so they do have an opportunity to return. That's why we're going to be shooting here with the Glade Guard Starfire Shaft. Shattering those will make sure they don't return. 10 models, 430 health. In the middle here, it looks like a unit has returned for the Dryads. We are going to charge down, unfortunately not seeing that there from killing Smalls. So being they are going to get that added charge bonus. Admittedly, that is only going to be 25, and that can really aid. That is going to be a shatter. So the Dryads have returned as well back from coming broken. I think that's going to be once more for them. Once more and they will shatter. Oh, that is a healthy unit of Eternal Guard left. 2.7k could be dangerous. We're actually going to break with the Chameleon Stalkers. Cold-Blooded wasn't enough to keep them going. 9 leadership should mean they return, but I'm not sure. Oxyotl's going to move through. Could we get a 360 here? Maybe. Oh, first one does hit. It does take down a model. That's going to be -5 leadership thanks to being shot. They are going to be very tired, and they do have friends routing around them. We are going to charge him with Oxyotl. Should get a nice hit here. As long as he doesn't take too much damage, we should be fine. Chameleon Stalkers don't want to fight. They are exhausted. I'd actually rather have them standing still, gaining back some vigor and gaining back some leadership. It's going to be a great clear-out game. So now it's going to be Glade Guard, Starfire Shafts, and a unit of Eternal Guard up against some Saurus Warriors and the Chameleon Stalkers. Moving to Master Predator here for Oxyotl, which I don't know if he is. Looks like he isn't. But if you move into that and then start shooting some of the Starfire Shafts, try and see if you can get away with that, that might be the way to do it. Oh no, looks like we shattered here with the Chameleon Stalkers, so we do move in with Oxyotl. 1.2k health for him. Is he going to take any damage here? Nope, we shatter the Dryad, so it's the third time of them breaking. That is going to be a shatter. Fortunately here, the Eternal Guards will do pretty well up against the Saurus Warriors. We have 22 models up against 54. It says it favours the Lizardmen. I'm not too sure how. Oxyotl, of course, will stay here with the added leadership. Shots will give -5. We don't have any shields for the Eternal Guards. We are going to be walking. We are very tired with the Saurus Warriors, and we're going to be exhausted with Oxyotl. He has 12 lots of ammunition left, plus the Golden Pipe of P2, so we can certainly utilise that here up against some of the Starfire Shafts, or maybe even the Eternal Guards. If played right, I think this is in the hands of the Wood Elves, but it's very difficult to say. -10 should be flat now, because it's been quite a while, so it's going to be... I don't know, looks like there's... I can't see the -10 from the Lord dying or routing. Maybe it does go off after the time. Okay. So that's not going to play a station in this part of the game. Yeah, that's a nice shot there, taking out some models from the Starfire Shafts. He is going to be in Master Predator mode, so they now know where he is. Saurus Warriors out here on the flank. 11 ammunition left for Oxyotl. He's going to be 41 speed when in Master Predator state. Nice shots there into the flank of the Eternal Guards. Saurus Warriors are moving. They're now moving fast into the direction of the Eternal Guards. We can now move into melee combat, see if we can fight up against the Starfire Shafts. Yep, we are going to hit. And he's just going to try and take out the Saurus Warriors. We need to try and dodge here as much as possible. They do actually have 900 health. That's a lovely dodge there in the middle. Try and see if we can get on top. We are going to be wavering the Starfire Shafts as we fight in combat. We are going to be shooting from behind, and we should count as a rear charge for -14 leadership. Yeah, flanks exposed. We are now going to charge in. We are going to be wavering. We are fighting now with Oxyotl down to 1,000 health. He's going to get pretty weak, but he is going to get away. We do have 33 speed there for the Eternal Guard. If we can keep shooting here and keep moving on the Starfire Shafts. Starfire Shafts get a nice volley off here into the Saurus Warriors. It's really tactical at this stage of the game. Balance of power is shifting left and right, absolutely everywhere. Melee combat here for Oxyotl up against the Glade Guard. And it looks like we do actually have Cold-Blooded, which is a huge ability. Plus 16 leadership here whilst fighting up against the Eternal Guards. Eternal Guards are probably going to hold here, and it's going to be Oxyotl versus those at the end. Oxyotl down to 930 health. Doing some lovely damage. He is going to come over here and help with his Saurus Warriors, give that added leadership. We are now going to shoot. This is goddamn close. Big hit there coming in from Oxyotl. Saurus Warriors, 4 models, still fighting. Can we break here? Looks like we are going to be wavering with the Eternal Guard. Oh, balance of power! Oh, what a win for Oxyotl! God damn it! I didn't think he was going to do it. I did not think he was going to do it. What a finish. What an absolute finish. I didn't think it. I didn't think it. I thought Oxy and the boys were screwed. I thought Oxy and the boys, they just weren't going to get in there. They weren't going to be able to finish. God damn. GG's well played to both of these players. That was an excellent matchup. That was a really, really great matchup. 1,500 damage value. Nearly 8,000 damage dealt from Oxyotl. 530 for the Skink Priest of Beasts, 280 for the Skink Cohort with 770, 850, 270, and 800 for the Chameleon Stalkers. 1.3k, 600, 800 for the Saurus Warrior Shields with 480, 480, 440, 390, and 460 for the Skink Cohort Javelins. 230, 480, 400, and 150 for the Feral Cold Ones, with only 137 for the Umbral Tide. My poor Fire Doggos, no! We got 900 from the Spellweaver of Life. I think that might have been the game there. I think losing her was the game, I think. In that moment, it was tough. 330 with 600 there from the Eternal Guards. 630 and 350 from the Dryads, with 320, 670, and 900. So the Dryads performed extremely well. We got 98, 450 from the Starfire Shafts, and 220, with 132 for the Glade Rider Spears, 2,080, 1,075, and 2,600 from the triple Great Stag Knights. What an excellent game. What an absolutely excellent game. Excellent game. What a game. That was a surprisingly low value on Oxy. That's true, Loopy. I think for the majority, he was shooting in and fighting up against the majority of the range and cheaper infantry, but he got lots of kills. I've got to say, I love the way Oxyotl is implemented into Warhammer. Yeah, Oxyotl's really fun, man. He's really fun. Oh, I needed that. Right, let's quickly do this. And that was a great game, though. That was an absolutely great game between those two. Fantastic game. Really enjoyed that. Perfect. Yeah, Soros didn't do too bad, Dr. Jellyfish, I thought, yeah. That's a great game. You will need to cast that on YouTube last week. Yes, I've saved it. I saved it. I will be casting it. Actually, you're in my next video, Mr. Pantelenard. How are we doing, Mr. Fantalemonade? How are we doing, my friend? Hope we're doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As well as a few others here. Mr. ODM Loopy, how are you, my friend? How are you? Welcome. And Dacta, welcome to the stream. Dr. Jellyfish, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. And welcome to everybody else that's joining as well. Welcome. So, looks like we're going to go Empire, Band, Dwarfs, and Greenskins. I'll go Vampire Counts. Okie dokie. The Bone Zone is ready. The only thing I'm really sad about is there's going to be no Bony Boys here on the Bone Zone. So, yeah, a bit sad about that one. But, you know, should be pretty good otherwise. Should be pretty good otherwise. Oh, man, that last game. I need to recover after that. That was a great last game. Great last game. He often is healthy at the end of the battle, so in Lizardmen wins, he's often the last one standing on the battlefield after everything else routs. Yeah, man, because he's got that tricksy little blowpipe just dancing around the map, doing 360s, just shooting cavalry all over the place. And, like, he's got poison, AP. Oh, man, he's a nightmare. But he's so fun to cast, man. He's so fun to cast. To play against, I don't know. But to cast, he's super fun. He's super fun. For sure. So, we'll be going 1-0 here for the big man here on the doors. Mr. ODM Alfredinho striking a win there with Oxyotl, with only 4 units left on the battlefield, Oxyotl being one of them, of course. A tremendous matchup. So the Bone Zone is ready here with the main pick here for the Empire for RTK Smalls. That will be his main faction, secondary being Bretonia. And the Lizardmen, of course, very strong in the hands of any man of the skill of Alfredinho. So it should be great. All right, we're on to game 2. And let's get it going. So, for the men of the Empire, let's have a look. The Empirites coming in with Demogryph Knights here for the AP. And some others. Oh, look at them. Look at these boys. They are just flipping gorgeous. As well as the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Fire damage, magic resistance, great armor, and that 78 charge bonus. Just huge indeed. We're also going to see some Outriders, and more Outriders. Looks like we're going to go for a bit of an effective kite here. We are going to be having Volkmar the Grim on horseback, nonetheless. Volk Daddy with Grand Soulfire, Grand Shield of Faith, the Grand Hammer of Sigmar, and the Jade Griffin. Of course, going to be faster there on horseback rather than on his war wagon. In the back here, we are going to have the Jade Wizard, of course, with Daughters Below, Earthblood, and Life Bloom, trying to see if we can maximize the cavalry, as well as the skirmish. Warrior Priest as well in the fixture. He's going to be having, I'm sure, the Soulfire, the Shield of Faith, Scroll of Shielding, the Hammer of Sigmar, as well as the Banner of Eternal Flame, giving that base weapon damage and fire damage. So yeah, it's very strong indeed. So in the middle, we are going to be having Crypt Ghouls on top of Graveguard, mixing in with zombies in the front line. It's like a double White King there in the front with Scabscrath, I imagine, both on horseback. Very strong. I've always seen them on the horses. They always do quite well there. Crypt Ghouls in the back for the poison, Graveguard as well. The Diepat Wolves mixing in with the Chill Guys Hex Wraiths. These bad boys, of course, do have that chilling aura, so could do quite well indeed. They've got to be careful there of the Dwellers below, but apart from that, they should be all good. Blood Knights in the back here make that 2, alongside Heinrich Keller as the Lord choice today. Heinrich will be having the Lord of Undeath, as well as the Undead Resurgence, Raise the Dead, Gaze of Nagash, Invocation of Nehek, the Chaos Tombblade, as well as the Curse of Undeath, and the Master of the Dead. Outriders in the middle, they're going to be firing here. We do have the Flag of the Bloodkeep here for the Blood Knights, giving them that 22% missile resistance when not engaged in melee combat. So, moving to the front and moving to the flanks here is going to be the Knights of the Blazing Sun, maybe some side charges here. This is going to be a game of ultimate micro, that's for sure. Moving out with the White Kings, we are going to pressure the Outriders. And when you're going to challenge a man of the skill of Alfredino to a game of mobility and just micro, you need to be a man of the skill of Mr. RTK Smalls. He is a man that is known for his mobility and micro, so it should be interesting to see what he does here. Chill Guys are going to get away. I don't actually know if Grand Soulfire does magic damage. I can't remember. Moderate magic damage, yep. So we do have to be careful there with the Chill Guys for sure. Invocation here could be very strong. We are going to move him into Diepat Waters as well. It's going to be a little bit of a blob here in the middle. We can see Demogris, Grand Shield of Faith, Grand Hammer of Sigmar going down. We are going to pin him with Blood Knights and Heinrich Keller. In the middle here, so we have White Kings. Double of those, Blood Knights as well, just really smashing it here into the pocket. We are going to be shooting with Outriders on the flank, really piling it here into the pocket. Shooting Blood Knights and the rest is going to be pretty damaging. We can see here that the Graveguard moving in alongside the Chill Guys. Undeath Resurgence plus 24 melee defense as we fight up against the Knights of the Blazing Sun. You need to really pull out the Chill Guys here at this moment. We are going to be getting a Grand Soulfire here down. Dwellers below as well. Dwellers below will do a really nice good ability here in the middle pocket. As we charge at the back here up against the Outriders, we are going to break pretty nicely here. You see the Scroll of Shielding there going down on the Outriders. They're going to get hit pretty hard here in the back. Outriders will be the last unit left here. 1 of 3 that we have remaining from the Empire. In the middle here, looks like Volkmar alongside the Demogryph Knights going to be fighting in the pocket up against Zombies and Graveguard. And over here on the left, we are going to be having Heinrich fighting up against a Warrior Priest with some Blood Knights. Wavering Blood Knights here on the left. And looks like here we are going to get a Soulfire on top as well. So lovely Soulfire damage there will come through onto the Knights. Jade Wizard fighting in the middle pocket as well, alongside some of the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Demogryphs and Knights should do pretty nicely there in the middle. Fire damage should really help, but of course, no regenerating units here, so no additional damage there from fire. Kiting using the Outriders, only 85 speed for them. Of course, Pistoliers were having 90, that can really benefit indeed. Unfortunately, you can see a lot of dead Chill Guys around. Looks like they have been finished off. Graveguard here in the middle, still doing some great AP work here up against the Demogryphs. Good charges here from the Knights from behind. That should do some lovely damage there in the middle. Balance of power is going to be favouring the Undead. We can see Heinrich now fighting up against Volkmar the Grim. Volkmar doing very well here. The man, the myth, the moustache getting in here alongside with his hammer and his... Oh, it's actually going to be a flaming hammer this time. So it looks like here we are also going to move in with the Warrior Priest. So we are going to surround, try and get as many Soulfires and Grand Soulfires as we can. That's going to be the Grand Soulfire there on top, doing some lovely damage up against the zombies, really clearing out the chaff. So it looks like Knights of the Blazing Sun, Hammer of Sigmar plus a Grand Hammer of Sigmar, give him plus 48 melee attack, give them an 88 fire damage there, and 103 for Volkmar the Grim. Screams in the back of Empire just getting absolutely throttled here by the Undead. We can see Wavering there in the backside is going to be the Outriders getting rear charged by the White King. Should remove them from the battlefield. Only 1 unit of the skirmish left. We are going to break one of the 2 Knights there in the middle. In the back, the Demis, 1 of 2 are going to fall. We are going to terrify with the second as well. Oh my god, did they terrify? They've been terrified. Of course, they don't have immune to psychology. Oh my god, that's terrible. That's really bad. So Demogryph Knights are going to get terrified here. They are going to get pushed off, and this is going to be army losses, I think. So great work there from Alfredino. We can see the White Kings in the pocket. That is going to be shattered. That is going to be army losses. GG's, and well played. God damn, the moustache has prevailed here in the final. By winning our hearts, but fortunately not winning the battle. And it's like here, the goatee man himself is going to pull through. I loved seeing Volkmar on horseback. Unfortunately, the Mushaf was not enough. It was not enough. 1.5k. We got 2,000 there for the Jade Wizard, 350 as well. Knights Blazing Sun, 480, 560. 900, 800, 1.2k for the General Growth Knights. 470, 230, and 1,100 for the Outriders. We got 470 for Heinrich Keller, with 130 and 400 for the White Kings, with 86, 39, 75, 47, and 90 for the Zombies. Grugals at 170 and 400, Graveguard in at 72 and 420, with, oh my god, the Blood Knights there in at 2,800 and 2,500, with the Chill Guys in at 430 and 330 from the Dark Path Wolves. GG's. Volkmar needed help from Buffy. Or Buffy the Vampire, you mean? I thought when I saw the build that Smalls would have enough bonuses to prevail, but sadly not. Sadly not. Yeah, thank you very much for Smalls for playing today. What an absolute champion and a legend. But now we are going to have the ODM final yet again. Alfredinho up against Daxter. I'm sure these two have seen each other quite a lot here in the finals. We are going to be starting off with Karak Asgal. Sorry, just talking to Daxter at this moment. Alright, so it looks like Daxter is asking for a best of 3 rather than the best of 5. If Alfredinho is happy, then of course we can do that. That's not a problem. If they got places to be, that's not a problem. I'd be happy if you guys are happy. Yeah, we'll play Killing Smalls. I hear you are countering my models. I hear you counting my models. Counting them? What do you mean, sorry, buddy? Counting? Cool. Alright, so normally you do, oh. Alfred died. No, Alfredinho, what happened? Did he hit escape by mistake? I think he probably did here, actually. Unfortunately, Smalls got his... Oh no, I didn't even know it was a 3. I trusted you. I didn't even check the build. I trusted you. I was not counting your models. No. Either way, it was nice to see triple demogryphs and double. I think I did some quick maths in my head, and I think it made sense. Unless it was illegal, but either way, it was a fun game. Either way, it was a fun game. I mean, we got to see Volkmar the Grim on horse, right? Empire's like a pretty good first pick, right? If you ban Dowie and Vampire Counts, like there's some great matchups in return against it. But yeah, I kind of like Empire. I kind of like it. But guys, we're going to be in the final. We're going to be having a great one here between ODM Alfredino and ODM Dacta. So if you are enjoying today's event, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really, really does help the channel. It promotes the live stream, and then also subscribing promotes the channel so more people can see it here in the wider audience of YouTube. So if you want to support me, that is the best way you can do it. Now, I haven't promoted this too much, but I did actually make something here for the final. So if anyone that gets through the final, to support me a little bit with giving extra prizes to some of the players that put a huge amount of effort here in the community to playing, I did do a fundraiser. Now, there's absolutely no pressure, and if nobody puts any money into it, that's absolutely fine. There is no pressure. But I put a fundraiser there that is strictly only going to the players. I see nothing from it. Nobody else sees anything from it. 100% of what is donated there goes immediately to the top 4 players in the community. So those that come first, second, third, and fourth will receive all of the money that goes in there. And what you guys put in there, I will match. So not only will I give my normal prizes of first and second, I will also match whatever goes in that prize pool. Up to a certain level, of course. I don't have unlimited money, but I will match to a sensible amount of how much you guys put in there if you put in. If not, I will just put a blanket amount of money in the pot. So up to you. No stress, no pressure, but if you do, I would really appreciate it. That's up to you guys. So, yeah, we're going to be hopping in Karek Asgal as the first map. And it looks like here we are going to be having Lizardmen against the Empire. Yeah, you fought well, King Smalls. You fought well. That first game was exceptionally good. It was exceptionally good. Yeah, I really enjoyed that game. Really enjoyed. I'm sure you're going to be having nightmares of Oxyotl there. So the 3 games will be Karek Asgal, Estilian Tomb, and Outdorf Outskirts. Yep, so some pretty nice maps. Pretty nice maps indeed. Alright, so from the men of the Empire, we are going to be having a Jade Wizard here with Regrowth and Earthblood. In the back, we are going to have a Knights of the Blazing Sun, Knights of the Blazing Sun, Reichsguard, 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 mixing with 2 Spearmen, and Karl Franz. I like Karl Franz in this matchup. I told quite a few people I think he's a really nice pick in this matchup. I think it's got to be either him or Volkmar the Grim. I think they're the 2 that do really well in this matchup. You can bring Boris, but I really, really like Karl. I think Karl, most people think Karl's outdated. I really don't. I do actually like him here. Of course, Galmaraz, and AP and Anti-Large, the right-lane Runefang, as well as Stand Your Ground, Foeseeker, Hold the Line, and that Blood Roar. Only 2 Spearmen unit here to really pull up the numbers, I think. Yep, to 497. We are going to be having 3 Pterodons in the sky. And for the front line, Skin Cohort Javelins mixing with Red Cresteds. Alongside, what's this? Some Feral Cold ones. Looks like Skin Cohorts, Red Crested, more Feral Cold ones. We are going to get a Basilodon Arca Sotek, Javos, the Cohorts of Sotek for the Unbreakable, and another Arc of Sotek. In the back, we are going to be having the Skink Priester Beasts alongside Krogar Mundi here with the Hand of the Gods, Swiftness of Itzel, and the Sacred Spawning of Exotl. So lovely stuff. We're going to be ready to go here between the 2 of these legends. So let's commence. Earthdog, your brother, you need to update the score. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. I will do that right now. Earthdog coming through like an absolute champ. ODM Dacta. Alright, we are ready. Let's do this. So on the map, bits of note, we can see here we obviously have a little bit of trees on the red spawning side of things. Over here on the yellow spawning side of things, we do actually have some trees and a bit of terrain over here on the right. But nothing too much to speak of. We've got some dips and some movement here, a little bit of a walkway down here if you like. There is some terrain, but not a huge amount to talk about. You can see it's actually a little bit more than it actually looks like from the sky. So if you look from the sky, it doesn't look so great. But if we get down and deep, we can actually see it. It's pretty tall. It's pretty tall. When you compare it to some of these little boys on the floor, it can be pretty difficult. So Alfred going to be getting into position, getting ready to go. Who is here on battlefield? Oh, it's going to be Alfredinho and ODM Dacta, Mr. Caradoc, in the final. Today will be a best of 3 rather than a best of 5 because I don't think Dacta has time. So we're going to be playing here. All right. So, quick question for you guys. Who's going to win week 2 of season 6? Is it going to be Mr. ODM Dacta or Mr. ODM Alfredinho? What's the thoughts? I mean, factions, I guess. Yeah, so over here on the left, we've got Dacta as the Empire, and we've got Lizardmen here as Alfredinho. Sorry, my apologies. Alf is actually the Lizardmen. So we're going to move over here with the Pterodon Riders. They'll be able to shoot into quite a few of the Knights of the Blazing Sun. And this is a big problem. We have 0 range here at all, apart from Carla Franz in the sky. So we have no counter to the Pterodon Riders. Pterodon Riders do have poison here, so they're going to be able to shoot into Carla Franz pretty happily here, I think. Carl is going to have to swoop around and try and defend. I don't know what he's going to be able to do, but there is going to be shots moving in. We are going to be shooting here into the back of Carla Franz. We have 90 speed, and we have 77 with poison. I think he starts at 90. Now, of course, we do have Foeseeker, which will increase that speed. But, of course, when he gets poisoned here, getting chased by the skirmish Pterodons, it can be pretty painful. We're going to have some boys on the floor as well. We're going to have some javelins ready to go. They're going to fire into the face here of Carla Franz. Going to be shooting here up against some of the expensive Reichsguard, doing some pretty good damage here in the middle. Get some rock drops off as well here, maybe up against some of the spearmen, and just delete some of that infantry. Lovely shots in the sky, lovely javelins as well. Javelins straight to the face of the Knights of the Blazing Sun. They do have 100 armor and bronze shields, but they are certainly going to take that like an absolute champ. Yeah, a bit of a shame there coming in from the side of the Empire and Dacta, but of course no counter to Kite. It's a pretty common method here for the Lizardmen, I'm not going to lie. But, yep, pretty sad there, unfortunately. It looks like the Archosotic in the middle is going to do some lovely damage. We are going to move him Carla Franz, and this is what he does great. He's going to be having the right Maroon Fang, as well as Foeseeker, Stand Your Ground, and Garmaraz here to absolutely dumpster the Pterodons Archosotic. Look at all those green, gorgeous, juicy stats there in the middle. Going to be thumping very hard here. Right one have been deleted, though. Feral Cold ones are going to get terrified with Carla Franz. Archosotic is getting slapped here pretty hard. He's going to be flapping his tail, unfortunately, revealing his back, meaning he's getting rear charged and reduction on melee defense. We are going to be shooting on the floor here up against the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Manticore Summon in the sky here coming from the Lizardmen. We should be able to push that in as well. Archosotic going down for the damage. I think Hand of the Gods did move in towards the right side. That is going to break them, and they're very close to the edge of the map. So we are going to get a regrowth here. Overcast over 2,088 health. So there should be some good regen there in the middle. We are going to be having Krokgar with the anti-large and armor piercing, fighting up against Carla Franz. He's run out of the Reichler Moonfang and also Garmaraz. So he's going to be fighting here very hard with just AP. He's going to get poisoned. Negative leadership. He's getting absolutely dumpstered right here. Jesus, he got dumpstered. If we keep that Manticore moving, we should be able to chase. He goes down to 77 speed. He is broken. He is going to go off the edge of the map. Alfred was making a baguette. I love it. I absolutely love it. So we are going to chase with the Pterodon Riders. Unfortunately here, Carla Franz is not going to be coming back for Dacta. It's looking pretty dire here. If we can kill the Reichsguard, I think it's GG's. I think army losses will start to kick in here, unfortunately. We are going to be shooting over the top here from the Skinker Hort Javelins. We have poisoned and terrified the Reichsguard in the middle. No ITP for them. We do actually have the healing caster moving in, of course, pretty slow. Should be able to get some nice shots here from the Pterodons in. We are actually going to get a return of Karl of France. Karl of France is now going to be fighting this guy up against Pterodons. Pterodons can fight, but they're not known for it in melee combat. As our friend Manticore is going to be going down here. Its time has run out. We can see that the Bastiladon Archosotek fighting pretty well up against the Knights of the Blazing Sun. That Archosotek ability is super strong. In the back, we have some return of the Feral Cold Ones. In the back here, we have some charge from the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Hopefully get a big, fat, juicy charge here up against the Skink Priest. Good rear charge or counter charge from the Red Crested Skinks could do lovely work here up against the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Poison will also do quite nicely. Yep, they're going to get charged pretty hard and they're going to take a lot of damage. Kroggar taking responding of Exotul here in the back, doing some nice work up against the Knights. His anti-large and armor piercing should do some nice work there in the middle. On the side here, we can see that Jade Wizard just going to be hanging out here a little bit. Down to 2,200 health is going to be Karl of France. We should get some lovely work and shots in here from... Oh, looks like he's going to catch. Oh, doesn't quite get the hit off, though. We should get some good shots here into Karl. Just keep shooting him, keep bringing down his health, and over time, it will pay for itself. Now, if we got all 4 of the Pterodons around Karl, we could do quite nicely. If we got all 4 together, it could work pretty well. In the front here, it looks like the Spearmen are going to get aided, and are going to get rear charged here by the Pterodons. White Guard are going to break. Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to be inside. Looks like they are going to try and get away here. They don't want to get caught and aid with the Spearmen too much. It looks like stand your ground, right in the Runefang going down. We do actually see a Hand of the Gods coming out as well. Karl of France is going to get charged here by Kroggar. We are going to get the Explosion Swiftness of Itzel giving that added speed. Karl of France is going to be using Garmaraz as well to here fight up against Kroggar. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to fight too long. Big hits going down, and Dacta pulls out. God damn it, what a game. God damn it. It was a Chad build. Wait, how did Karl come back? There is... I don't know if it's a glitch or I don't know if it's how it's meant to be, but I think if the cost of the unit vastly outweighs the unit chasing it, it has an opportunity to return. I believe. I don't know how true that is. I really don't, but I've heard that to be a thing. But 2,087 there for Kroggar, with 66 for the Skink Priest of Beasts, 317 and 250 there for the Skink Cohort. But yes, to answer your question, Cypher, I don't think it should have returned. 300 from the Red Crested, with 940 for the second. 906 for the cohort of Sotek, with 280, 407 and 300 for the Javelins, with 230, 470, 160 and 280 for the Feral Cold Ones. 926, 1,000, 870 and 740 for the Pterodon Riders. 1.5k and 360 for the Bastiladons with the Ark of Sotek. The man, the myth, the legend, Karl of France here with 1.6k. He absolutely dumpstered one of the Bastiladon Archosoteks. We got 67 in for the Jade Wizard, with 93 there for the Spearman, with 230 for the second. 170 kills, 720, 560 and 620 there from the Right Guard. And here from the Knights of the Blazing Sun, 444, 624, 695 and 355. So unfortunately the cavalry just not quite getting in there. We are going to move on to Astilion Tomb. Alfred, you're up, buddy. Let's get it cracking. A Chad build? I do not think so. It was an unfortunate build. I like the fact that it went full cav with Karl of France. I think Chaddery was high, but the memes were there. The memes were there. Maybe it was like an actual. I mean, it could have very well been an attempt to just go full cavalry and just try and overwhelm. Oh, Chaos. Okay, who are we banning? I feel like Chaos need to ban Vampire Counts, and they kind of need to ban Dark Elves. I think it's the two main ones they need to ban, I think. I'll give him a chance to respond, but yeah. Yeah, I invariably, I know a lot of people might roast me for this, my builds that I bring against Lizardmen don't always, they do have cavalry, but they don't have armored cavalry. I don't bring armored cavalry in that matchup. All right, Dactyr and Dr. Jellyfish. Play fair. Play fair. None of that, please. No naughtiness. Alright, looks like it's going to be Wood Elves, so I think we're going to see a very similar build there from Dactyr. We're going to be seeing triple Way Watchers up against Alfred, I think. I think we'll see triple Way Watchers, similar build. We'll be seeing some fast cav in the back. Pretty similar. Yep. For sure. Got a message here. Oh. Morally, you have to root for Dactyr Wood Elf here. Do you though? Do you have to morally? Do you have to root for the Elgi, Mr. Benzo? I don't think you do. I don't see any Dowie on here, so I'm not going to root for anybody. No Dowie. Sad face. I mean, to bring Knight with only demis can be good. Yeah, I could agree with that to an extent. Yeah, I could agree with that. Carolock. Yeah, they're good AP. Yeah, I actually really like in against. I think like for Dactyr, if he'd gone, I'm sure he more than knows this. Like I don't need to tell him this, but I think like just Outriders. Oh, sorry, not even Outriders. I don't even think Outriders are needed. I think Pistoliers would have been really good. I think like 3-4 Pistoliers can be really nice in that matchup. Because they just, you know, if they go Terror Riders, cool, I've got Pistoliers. I'm just going to shoot you. You've got no armor. Ability's pretty high. But their turning speed is not great. Their turning speed in the air is not great. And you can shoot pretty hard. You can certainly kite, I think, better than they can with Terrorlons. Alright, so for the Wood Elves. Oh, a full cav build. Great Stag Knights moving in with Wild Riders. Wild Riders, Glade Rider Spears. More Great Stag Knights, Wild Riders, Glade Guard, and Glade Riders. Mass Cav build with... Where's the Lord? Oh, it's going to be Vanguard. Oh, yeah. We can see Branch Wraith with Pendulum, Earthblood, ITP, and we are going to see the man, the myth, the Chad, and the legend, Mr. Orion, here with the Horn of the Wild Hunt, the Hound of Orion, as well as the Cloak of Isha. Never as strong as it used to be, but still never terrible. Here in the middle, we'll have some Horsemen, Horsemasters, and Horsemen. Looks like Horsemen and Horsemasters there on the left. Ah, Benzo, you should come in the Discord, my friend. You should come in the Discord. That's where we'll hang out. And I organise all of my tournaments. But yes, Summoners of Rage here with the Chain Lightning. Always love the Summoners. In with Poison Warhounds, as well as some Chaos Marauders. The Mirror Guard as well with the Chaos Sorcerer of Death, with Spirit Leech and the Scroll of Shielding. Prince Sigvold the Magnificent there with the Auroric Armour and Stand Your Ground, with also the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. Really important because not only that gives you 2 casting, it gives you Burning Head, Fireball, Kindle Flame, and also gives you 2 Scrolls of Shielding, which can also be very nice indeed. They're going to be fun. Doggers in the front as well, just in case there's any of those sneaky Way Watchers. This should be interesting. We're going to look this way because this is going to be a very quick turnaround. Good luck, have fun from both sides. This is now going to be game 2. 1-0 here to Alfredinho. We will just update the scoreboard. 1-0 to him. Let's game on. Now that's a Chad build. Indeed, it is a Chad build, man. 4 Wood Elf cavalry build is about as Chad as you can get. So he's going to pull away and then re-engage. Lovely micro there in the front. You can see good shots in the front doing some brilliant damage. We are going to move back here with the Chaos Brawlers, giving him some more room to kite where possible. 6 units of skirmish cavalry here to kite, whilst also moving all your infantry and reorganizing your force is very strong. In the front, big yeet in the face of the Sorcerer of Death. We are going to charge in with the Glade Riders. We are going to get plus 60% charge bonus there from the cavalry. Thumping back with the Summoners of Range, and also here with the Warhammer with Poison. Going to do some lovely work here in the middle. Skirmish here with the Marauder Horsemen. And also here we are going to try to out-skirmish, or not even skirmish, we're going to try to out-micro Mr. Alfredino here with this build. Glade Riders in the middle, they are going to struggle up against the Mirror Guard. Lack of AP will make them struggle here in the middle. We are going to be smashing with the Summoners of Rage here. Don't have Terror, but they do have Fear. They should be able to do some lovely work. I love the yellow design from these bad boys. They are so goddamn gorgeous. We are going to be thumping with Orion, actually killing models, which is quite nice. Branch Wave now coming in the back. We are going to fight with the triple threat here in the middle. We do actually have Sigfold now going up against Orion. Orion will struggle there, unfortunately. Sigfold is an excellent melee combatant. We're actually going to break the Chaos Sorcerer of Death. He's going to get terrified. Orion, of course, causing terror. Someone's just going to be thumping the block here. Glade Rider Spears and Wild Riders. Very stacked, nice, down to 6 models. And let's have a look here for the remainder. Looks like we are going to get the Chain Lightning here in the middle. Glade Riders on the outside going to be ready to go. Chain Lightning is going to go right through the Wild Riders. That's going to be lovely damage there. It's actually going to follow them a little bit as well. Do some brilliant damage. Nice! Lovely Chain Lightning there. Couldn't ask for a better one here, Alfredino, if he asked. The man that is known for his RNGesus tactics. Over here on the right, we are going to see charging into the backside of the Marauders. They'll break there pretty quickly. Spirit Leech going down on the Wild Riders. Orion is going to be running away here from Prince Sigvold. It's like he is going to get flinched. We are going to be yeeting here up against the Marauders. Orion is going to be running. In the background, we can see some Glade Rider Spears chasing after the Marauders. Skirmish Kite there from the Marauder Horsemaster is going to be shooting into the Wild Riders that have broken. It's like over here, more Wavering Great Stag Knights. Wild Riders here wavering as well. Broken on the side there, looks like some more Wild Riders. Yeah, it's looking pretty dire here, unfortunately. Balance pack is going to be even. We are going to get an Earthblood here for Orion. We can see here in the middle, Chaos Sorcerer of Fire and Sigvold going to be fighting together. Orion is doing some good work here up against Sigvold. Oh, nice hit there onto Sigvold. Horn of the Wild Hunt going down, plus 60% charge bonus. We get down and dirty here, we can see that Orion, the big man, is going to be towering over. He actually looks like he yeeted that right into the face of the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. Nice charge there from the Glade Riders. 64 charge bonus gives them some lovely stats indeed. We are going to break them. We are actually going to have nice and close to the Marauder Horsemasters as we shoot into the backside here of the Glade Rider Spears. Shouting quite a few units, just like 1 unit of Great Stag Knights. No, mate, that 2 left here. That's going to be 1 Wild Rider there as well. Fighting in the middle, it looks like here running away is going to be Orion, overcasted Earthblood. Orion is going to be getting hit pretty hard here in the middle, unfortunately, because the Prince Sigvold is just going to be doing the dirty here on the man. He's unbreakable, of course he is. So he's got 375 health. The man here from the Wild Hunt is going to be running. He's going to be getting shot as well. Down to 250, 213, 150. He's going to be getting that healing there from Isha, but it looks like 0 and he falls. That's going to be negative 16 leadership. Dacta is going to pull out for a great victory here, coming in from Mr. ODM Alfredino. Yes, Mr. Earthdog is on the Discord. Yeah, so GG's well played here. Lovely build from Alfredino. Of course, Sigvold at 1.5k, 700 for the Sorcerers of Death, 700 for the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. 230, 170, with 120, 240, and 370 for the Chaos Marauders. 860 there for the Mirror Guard. 600, 500, 511, 425 from the Marauder Horsemen, 1080 and 880 from the Marauder Horse Masters, 145 and 150 from the Chaos Warhounds, from the Poison 93, 2100 for the Summoners of Rage, and just an awesome build overall. We are going to see 2000 damage value from Orion, 300 there from the Branch Wraith, with 430, 380, as well as 360, 540, 455, and 800 from the Wild Riders, with 944, 761, and 120 from the Great Stag Knights. Thanks for hosting the tournament, Logic. See you around. Thank you very much, Alfredinho, for playing, my friend. I look forward to seeing you in the final, Alfredinho, but of course 250 points will be going there to the man, the myth, the legend. Dacta will be taking those away, and I think he's already collected quite a few points. Mr. Cool HR, welcome. How are we, friends? So everybody here, welcome. I hope you all enjoyed today's event. If you did, please smash that like button. It really helps here on the channel. If you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. That also really does help here for my growth for personally, so I can start becoming partnerships here with CA and YouTube, and giving you guys all those extra things that you want, as well as all the early access. Will give me a little bit more independence, so I can do much more things coming in for Warhammer 3 as well. So GG's and well played for Mr. Alfredinho. He played excellently, and so did Dacta, as well as Killing Smalls. And we also had Mr. Doodles, who made the semi-final. So well played to everybody, and thank you for all of you for all your support today, playing in the tournament as well as watching. It all means a lot to me, so thank you very much. That is going to be the final. They nerfed Orion to trash. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. He wasn't great before. I think he then got a little bit of a rework, and he was working quite nicely alongside Ariel. And then, of course, they nerfed him with the also Ariel, because the partnership was very strong. It was very strong. But then, of course, you know, that's the way it goes, unfortunately. There's nothing too much to say about it. Thanks for the stream. It was very fun. No problem, Mr. Dog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody here did today as well. I will be streaming yet again tonight. So for you guys to know, I will be on Twitch tonight. I'll be doing a little bit more content. I think I'll be doing some Total War Warhammer 2 tonight. So we'll finish that off, and I will post this. So if you're not already on with my Twitch, do feel free to go on there and give it a cheeky follow. That would really help as well. What I predominantly do on there is I mostly do sort of single player stuff. Me and Ducky do quite a few bits and bobs as well. We did a little bit of Move or Die that you guys really enjoyed, and we've done quite a few other things as well. So we will be doing some other content on there. Maybe some Age of Empires, some stuff like that. So there'll be some added content on there that's where we keep all of the multiplayer here on YouTube. So thank you very much for everyone that's watched today. You've all been awesome, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one, which will be, of course, next Friday. So we'll be seeing you all there. Well, it was some meme builds. I would never take Orion as 100% serious, but I'm confident I can qualify for playoffs with points. So wanted to have some fun. Yeah, Dacta, man. And this is what it is, man. Listen, if you want to have fun, have fun. I encourage you to have fun. The builds were awesome. I didn't think that they were super serious. And I thought that it was a great game. I liked seeing Carla Franz in the matchup. I like Carla Franz. I don't see enough of him. And I think he's kind of cool. But yes. Thank you very much, everybody. You take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all very, very soon. So take care of yourselves and drink lots of water.